I'm gonna have to record this fucking show over again. Got a question here in the chat room. Where is Koco? Koco is actually busy right now. He's really under the weather. That's one thing. And then the other thing is that he's stressing out right now. His book is coming out. It should be coming out any week now. He's stressing over cover art for that. Plus, he's a dad. He's got like 47 kids. He's taking care of his wife. He's taking care of his 27 mother-in-laws, his cousins, his aunts, his uncles. He does his charity work. He feeds like 900 orphans every day. He bottle feeds, orphan puppies. He's still writing like 14 more novels. So he's just slammed right now in LK. He's under the weather. So that's why you got me filling in. So I guess I'll answer that question. And the question, and I guess this is from Ray Mastani. Do you like the product that Lucha Underground gives you? Yes, I do. But this week, I just didn't. And let me explain to you why. And it's not necessarily all negatives. Don't think I'm ripping on this product, because I'm not. I really like the product. I like the way it's presented. It's something different. It's something fresh. And I've tried to change the way that I've looked at it. I was originally watching it as a wrestling show, which it is, but it's not. And it's more like a Spanish telenovela, a soap opera about a wrestling promotion, because there's things, it's like you should think of it like you're watching like a drama or a TV show, because there are certain things that we, the audience, are supposed to know that a lot of them, the characters in the ring aren't supposed to know, and vice versa. There's things that they're supposed to know that we're not supposed to know. So I like that. And I like the Lucha Libre, because the only exposure that I got to Lucha Libre, at least back in my day, were sometimes they would come through WCW. I know first time I ever saw Mil Mascaras, it was in WCW back in the late 80s, early 90s. Then, of course, as it picked up, WCW, during, let's see, the next one, was actually ECW, when they introduced Rey Mysterio Jr., Psychosis. They had their matches there, and then you brought in Super Crazy. Then WCW picked it up. They brought in, they brought in like everybody. They brought in La Parka, Silver King, El Dandy. They brought a ton of people in, but I never got the authentic Lucha Libre experience until this came along, and I am just more intrigued. I want to check out. I know a lot of these guys come from AAA, and I would love, and this is another thing, AAA, if you're listening, if you could provide English commentary just so I can know what's going on and follow the wrestlers and follow the history, I would watch it. I would straight up watch it. I would watch a weekly television show with AAA. But anyway, on to what I didn't like and didn't like. It started out with Jack Evans in the ring. He stole the microphone from Melissa Santos, gave himself a long introduction, called himself the Dragon Slayer, and said he was going to make Drago his bitch. Then they brought in the Darewolf, PJ Black. Now, some of you may remember him as Justin Gabriel back in the old NXT, the Nexus Invasion. It actually picked up here. I like Black, that delayed German suplex, got the near fall. The suplex, it was a handspring. It was like a springboard missile drop kick. And eventually Drago came down, and Drago had like this mask on top of his mask. It was like almost like a helmet. It was like supposed to be like a dragon's skull. And he whipped out the nunchucks, and to me that just came off as ridiculous. I know they were trying to go for like this cool silhouette feature because they didn't have the spotlight on them. I know what they were going for, but I just think having him come out there with a dragon skull helmet over his mask and whip around the nunchucks, he looked ridiculous. That's just me. Now, in a typical match, because Jack Evans completely turns his face over to Drago, and this allowed PJ Black to hit the Black Diamond, and only got a 2 count out of that. So anyway, Drago goes up to go hit Jack Evans, and Jack Evans ducks, and PJ Black winds up getting a face full of a mist. This allows Evans to hit that backslide he does, where he bridges back over himself. Jack Evans gets the win. PJ Black now to not looking good now. He's at 0-2 right now after losing his debut match. PJ Black obviously upset. I think they're, obviously they're pushing this feud right now between Jack Evans and Drago. Okay, well, you know what? I can let that slide. But it kind of got worse because next we had King Cuerno taking on Killshot, and this was a non-title match, by the way. Killshot, he leaped onto Cuerno from the outside. I mean, he really kept the pressure on. I like the when they messed around on the apron, it looked like they about killed each other on that apron. Then Killshot went for superplex, but Cuerno reversed it. They went back and forth. Cuerno missed a drop kick. He went for a tombstone, but Killshot countered that, drove his knees into Cuerno. He missed a move off the top, did a splash, no water in the pool. Cuerno hit the thrill of the hunt, got the win in about a little about 5.5 minutes there. Gets the win, then starts putting the boots to Killshot. Then Phoenix comes in to make the save. Cuerno bails. He runs to the outside. And congratulations, kids. This was like the only clean match of the night. Yeah, they had some shenanigans, but it was till after that was done. It was just a Phoenix, being the good guy. I'm going to make the save, not let you beat up. We're going to continue our feud kind of deal. So I thought it was okay. I thought that was probably the decent match of the night. Then we get to what I felt like should have been the main event. Tejano taking on Chavo Guerrero and the Crew. It was a gauntlet match. And this is why I said they shouldn't have had 4 matches, because I really felt like this should have been the main event. But this thing didn't even go 6 minutes. I mean, it was 1 guy versus 3. And it just got gimmicky as hell. It was big. They're promoting Tejano, who's from California, by the way. Don't ask me how the hell that works out. He's Tejano, but he's from California. That's like saying you're a Texan out of New Orleans. Oh, there's a reference there from anyway. The first one goes out in like just a few seconds. Tejano super kicks Mr. Cisco. He did that in under 10 seconds. Immediately pins him, gets the 3. They bring in Castro Cortez. Cortez starts putting the boots to him. Tejano goes for a quick pin. Tejano gets a leg drop off the top rope, and then Tejano just floors Castro Cortez with a power bomb, gets the win. Chavo Guerrero sneaks in behind and clocks Tejano. Tejano starts to make his comeback. He lifts up Chavo like he's going for a suplex, but Castro Cortez trips Tejano, and Mr. Cisco has Tejano's bull rope and held his legs down. This allowed Chavo Guerrero to get the pin. So this whole match went just like not even 6 minutes, and I think this was just an absolute mess. Just too much shenanigans. I mean, yeah, it makes sense for the Crew to cheat. I am not necessarily opposed to that, but I mean, they just rushed right through it. And I felt like they left a lot of drama on the table. This could have been, I mean, you really could have sold it, here's Tejano. He's fighting. He's got to fight 3 guys if he's got to beat 3 guys just to win 1 match. He's got to dig down deep. Have him take a little longer with Mr. Cisco, then have him take a little bit longer with Castro Cortez, and then it's the question. Okay, here comes Chavo Guerrero, and he's fresh as a daisy. There's Tejano. He just went through 2 guys. Can he do it? And Chavo, just wailing him. It's like he could take him out at any second, but no. He's being the heel. He wants to put the boots to Tejano. He wants to take him out. He wants to injure him. And, then you can see Tejano start to make a comeback, and then Chavo starts to panic, and then he signals over to the Crew, who for some reason have not been told to leave ringside, and then they can cheat, and, and there's the bad guy. He took the shortcut. He has to, that's how, and I think they just left so much drama, and it was a better match. And it was a better match than what happened was not as good as match as they should have done. Next, we went outside of, they said 375 miles away from Boyle Heights. Basically, they're still feeding people to Montaza. Dario Cueto just want to make sure that his brother, is prepared to, because apparently they're going to go back to the temples. What it sounds like, him and Black Lotus and Montaza. And then he actually explained about the bull, because remember, at the end of the first season, when after Black Lotus kills Dragon Azteca, and dude, this just sounds like a fucking soap opera, but I still love it. He leaves his office, but he comes back in at that last second and grabs that bull. Well, he explains why, because he says that his brother actually saved his life because his mom was a very bad person and used to beat them both, and finally he stood up to her, but she was going to wail on him and hit him with I think it was a branding iron or a hot iron. And then finally his brother just picked up that bull statue and just started bashing her in the back of the head until she quit moving. And then he said, "Oh no, it's a happy memory for me because, well, it reminds me, it just let me know right then and there how much I love violence." And wow, we got a lot of good backstory right there on Dario Cueto in like a minute segment. Then Katrina, she was confronted by Pentagon Jr., wanting to take on wanting a rematch with Prince Puma. Katrina's like, "Well, after you did the Mil Mortez's arm, what makes you think I'm going to cooperate with you?" And then they just do this like little kung fu spar, and eventually he had her in like that arm breaker position, but she teleported out of it because fuck it, kids, if you're watching Lucha Underground, you just know to fucking roll with this shit by now. Finally, she said, "Okay, you know what? I'll give you your match, but you're going to regret putting your hands on me." So I'm interested to see what the consequences are. Then we get to the main event, Johnny Mundo versus Cage. Mundo looking absolutely amazing. He's got I think he's got a six-pack on top of his six-pack, and Cage is a cock diesel motherfucker. I mean, this guy's built like a brick shithouse. This was it was pretty much all Cage. He was going for a lot of power moves. Obviously, Mundo trying to stick and move. Cage hits Alabama Slam, goes for a pin. Cage hit the Weapon X, but no, actually it was a power slam. Excuse me, it was a slam. Then Mundo got his leg on the rope. He missed the end of the world. Cage comes back, hits a clothesline, then a Weapon X, and then it looks like he's about to get the win when this woman wearing all this fucking rainbow color clothes goes in, she goes in there and throws in a lead pipe, distracts the referee. Mundo whacks Cage over the head with a lead pipe. This allows Johnny Mundo to get the pin and the win. This woman's name is Taya, for those of you playing along at home. So Mundo gets the win. Apparently we've got a new woman in the temple now, which is good because I feel like, right now with the popularity of women's wrestling, particularly in the United States, I think this is a great trend that they need to capitalize on. Interesting, because apparently the Melina thing at the end of season 1, I think that was just a one-off deal. So I think they're going to work her in to be his manager or valet, however you want to put it. Then the show's about to go off the air. King Cuerno goes into Katrina's office and says, "You know what? We had a deal. I'm tired of defending this title. I'm tired of, Phoenix coming after me. So you know what?" He throws the belt down, the Gift of the Gods title down on Katrina's desk and goes, "You know what? I'm cashing in. I want to take on Mil Mortez next week." And Katrina says, "Nope, nope, nope. You got to defend it." And he says, "No, that wasn't part of the deal." She's like, "Nope, too bad." And they kind of, it's like a double cross on each other. It says, "You know what? You're going to have a match next week against Phoenix. That's the book. That's what you got booked in. And you know what? I hope you can fly. I know the Phoenix can fly, and I hope you can too, because it's going to be a ladder match. So I'm very anxious to see that." So overall, this was not a bad episode. I just expected more from Lucha Underground. I think that they had way too much shenanigans. Out of the four matches, you had three fuck finishes. You had Drago come down in the first match. You had the crew, hold the legs with the bull rope on Tejano and get the win. And then, of course, you had to introduce Taya by she threw in distracted the referee and allowing Mundo to use a lead pipe. So I just thought way too many fuck finishes, way too much shenanigans. I think that, they could have maybe eliminated one of these matches, and really you could have eliminated any of them. And done any of these matches next week, and still everything would have fell into place. I think maybe you could have moved Mundo and Cage, but or really, like I said, any of them. You could have moved any of them the next week and give them a little bit more time. I mean, I do appreciate the effort to try to get us the most action in the smallest amounts of time. In fact, actually, I think this episode of Lucha Underground, I think it had more matches. I know more matches than the entire first hour of Monday Night Raw. I don't know, comparing apples to oranges here, but I'm just saying. And I think maybe the first two, because they had only had 4 matches. So definitely, okay, if you're a big Lucha Underground fan, yeah, you need to watch it because it gives you some backstories on some of the characters and it develops some feuds, particularly between Evans and Drago. King Cuerno, his saga, the Pentagon Jr. and Prince Puma, Tejano and Chavo Guerrero, and then now Cage and Mundo. Oh, by the way, Famous B had a little infomercial. I just thought I'd mention that in there. He was kind of like a jobber all last season, but he's trying to make people from jobbers to robbers. I think it was called 860 Get Fame. Nice. So if you're a big fan of Lucha Underground, I would recommend checking it out. And if you're not a big fan of Lucha Underground, you're just checking this out for the first time, I would say this would probably not be the first episode that you need to watch. I mean, if you're going to watch Lucha Underground, I would suggest you go all the way back to season 1, episode 1, and just watch it all the way through there. But if you're not, if you're like, but if you're hell bent on jumping in, I would say wait. Before you maybe go back another week or 2 and start there, but this one is definitely not the one to start out with. So overall, give it a time. It wasn't a bad show. It just, I was expecting a little bit more and a little bit better from Lucha Underground. So let's get to your questions here. Let's see, Rey Mastani, do you like how they portray Mil Muertes? Yes, I do. He reminds me of like Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 2. Where he's just sitting there in that throne. You got Sonya Blaze and Kano chained up next to him. It's kind of what it reminds me of. I kind of like this, it really gives this air of evil. Katrina, she's now taking over Dario Cueto's office, and you see him up on this throne. There's skulls all around. Like he's just lording over everyone. Even with a fucking broken arm, he still looks goddamn intimidating. It's amazing. I mean, and I'm hoping Phoenix gets the title back because, I mean, I still want it because I remember Grave Consequences. It's one of the best. That was the episode, the match that after I watched that, I was like, okay, I'm not missing another episode of Lucha Underground. I'm not going to sporadically watch it anymore. I'm watching everything from here on out. It's one of the best matches I've ever seen. Let's see. Next, how would you make the brand splits work? I probably couldn't. I think you're referring to WWE. How could I make the brands? You're going to have to you're going to have to bring back another tag team championship, or you're going to have your tag teams all compete on both shows, which defeats the whole purpose of a brand split. You're going to have to split up the World and WWE championships again, because if you have the champions defending on both shows, that defeats the whole purpose of a brand split. So I think it's going to cause more problems than anything else. I personally wouldn't do it because it didn't work last time, and it's not going to work this time. I mean, that's just my thoughts on it. How can they book Triple H versus Reigns without Reigns being booed out of the building? I don't know if they can, unless they just take everything about Triple H that they like, which they're not going to do. Because remember, he was doing the whole DX, suck it, taping his fist and bloodying up Roman Reigns, and the crowd was eating it up. So I don't know if there's really much they can do. I guess what you could do to cheer him, to get Reigns to be cheered, is to have the Authority. Have it to where if Triple H loses, not only does he lose the title, but the Authority loses power. And they have to go behind. They're out of power. We're going to let like a committee or a board or something, and you can bring out like, oh, Daniel Bryan's going to be on this committee that helps decide title matches. You got legends under contract. You can like be like Sergeant Slaughter or Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Mick Foley. They're going to be part of this committee. They're going to look at records, and then they're going to make matches. And that's about the only thing I could think of is anything where you can put the heat on the Authority and say if Roman Reigns wins and obviously when the title, he gets the Authority out of power, and then you could put some kind of stipulation as well. If Reigns loses, he never gets another title shot again, or he has to leave I don't know. He still might get booed. but I would do something along that. Let's see. Do you like how Lucha ends their TV shows? Yes, I do. Does it make you want to watch next week? Yes, yes, it does. Because I want to see the. I mean, as LK keeps saying, man, it's the hook. You got to have the hook. Well, here's the hook. You know, I want to see King Cuerno versus Phoenix for the Gift of the Gods title in a ladder match because I feel like that's Phoenix. That's favors Phoenix. And plus, you know, the first match of the second season, you know, Phoenix loses his championship. They had a rematch in the last Luchador standing. Phoenix gets the win. So this is the rubber match. So who's going to win this best of three? Did I watch season one? Not well. Actually, yeah, I did. I did go back and watch some of the episodes that I did miss. But yes, I did watch all of season one. Carlos Medina, he gives it a win, not a strong one, but not necessarily a weak win either. I'm like you. I gave it like a strong. I give it a tie, like a strong tie, because I thought it was good. I just didn't think it was great, especially and this is by Lucha Underground standards. I just, like I said, I thought too much shenanigans for my taste. And I think they tried to cram too much into 1 hour, and they had shorter matches when I felt like these matches needed to be longer. Is LK busy? No, LK's under the weather. He's healing up now on the PWME UK headquarters. He's doing fine. I think he just found out that Bull Dempsey was on NXT and just fell violently ill, started vomiting uncontrollably, and was just unable to do it. Do you like Pentagon Jr. or Prince Puma more? I would say Prince Puma because, yeah, I understand that Pentagon Jr. is the cool thing to do, which I do like him. But Prince Puma, I know it's Ricochet under a mask, but the reason I like Prince Puma is because he's a babyface, and he's supposed to be a babyface. He's not supposed to be like a cool heel like Pentagon Jr. is. He's supposed to be a face. He's cheered like a babyface. He acts like a babyface, and he's not lame. And plus, he gets over. He's completely got over the first season, and he never said one word, never. And to me, that's just amazing. I mean, that's like, it's hard as hell. I mean, I think it's almost unheard of. So out of that, that's the reason why I like Prince Puma a little bit more. Pentagon Jr., don't get me wrong, he's cool. He's a cool heel. I know it's the cool thing to like, the cool guy to, get behind, but I think Prince Puma, it makes it look, easy when I think he's got a harder job to be the baby face, stay a baby face, act like a baby face, get people to still cheer him and not talk and get over. Like they were fought with a Vampiro Pentagon Jr. angle. Yeah, me too. I think, yeah, Carlos, I completely agree. I really like that. Is there going to be a SmackDown review? I'll have to see if maybe LK or Dave can do that a little bit later. I did not watch SmackDown tonight. I know because I was kind of got to a point where I was watching SmackDown, but then I realized why I don't do it anymore because basically SmackDown is nothing more than a glorified house show. Nothing of consequence happens. All it is just a platform to really stay stationary and to promote what happened on Raw. That's it. Yeah, Pentagon Jr., Seattle Miado. Yeah, Seattle Miado all the way, my friend. Is it better product than WWE in terms of being invested in watching next week? Oh yeah, Lucha Underground without a doubt, Ray. Without a doubt, Lucha Underground is definitely a better product than WWE in terms of, me wanting to watch. I mean, what the hell are they going to do on Raw next week? I don't even remember. I don't even know what the hell they're doing on Raw next week. I don't care. I care about these characters with Lucha Underground. I care about, Phoenix. I care about Pentagon Jr. I care about Ivelisse and Son of Havoc and the trios titles. I care about how is Cage going to get his revenge. I want to know how PJ Black is going to rebound. I want to know where the fuck Sexy Star is, because they left us on a cliffhanger last week. Oh, who's this mysterious woman? Yes, I know it's cheerleader Melissa, but roll with me here. I want to know more about what's going to go on. So yeah, I care about it. Where do they tape their shows? In Bowl Heights, which is just outside, which is a Hispanic neighborhood in Los Angeles. I believe they tape on the weekends on Friday and Saturday. I think, if I remember correctly, and this is not etched in stone. I believe they do about 2 or 3 shows on Friday and 2 and 3 shows on Saturday. They're all, and then of course, the rest of the week they're off, and they come back and they just keep doing the same thing till they get through there. How can you make Lucha Underground better? Well, no, there's really not much you can really do. I would say if there's any way that we can make it better is make it go mainstream. Uh, if LRA Network was in more homes, I think they would be getting higher ratings now. I don't know what the last batch of ratings was from Nielsen on them, but I know that the ratings had been slowly growing on it, which is not bad. I think it was over 200,000, getting close to 300,000 people, which is not bad considering El Rey is a very obscure network. It's very difficult to get. And if you want to get it without your cable provider, you have to go through like Fling TV, which is like $20 a month. And I think you only get like 10 channels or something, 10, 12 channels. Maybe that's a little off there. And El Rey's one of them. I do like the backstories. I just really wish they'd make some of these matches a little bit longer. That's really about it. There's really not much more I could really do to make Lucha Underground better. I like the way that it is. The commentary team, you're talking about Vampiro and Matt Striker. Matt Striker's a fucking wrestling nerd, and he's fucking proud of it. And that's what I love about him is he knows. I mean, he knows his shit. He knows wrestling history. And then you have say what you want to, but I like Vampiro because he's able to translate the Spanish. He's also able to give us more about the history, about the mask, about what certain phrases mean. So I think they complement each other quite well. It's very entertaining as well as educational, and that's and it called me kind of crazy, but I actually kind of like learning. I was the kind of kid I hated school, but I like learning. Same thing with Lucha Underground. It's like I mean, my Spanish is fucking horrible, but I enjoy learning about this. It's more of like also like a cultural event. You can learn more about, what these masks mean, about, some of these insults, what that, what does that mean. So that's why I like the commentary team. And yes, I'm well aware that Tejano Jr. is the son of the original Tejano, which is part of Los Misioneros del Norte. I'm well aware of that. Do you lime how they air the in season? Oh, like, I assume he means like. Yeah, I do like how they air in seasons. I think I spoke about this a few weeks ago here, but yeah, I like that. He what I like about the seasons is it adds more drama because it's like anything. You've got you start out here. It's like, let's compare it to the NFL. You got your start of the season, and it's okay. We got to make the playoffs because if we don't make the playoffs, there's no way we're getting to the Super Bowl. So same thing with Lucha Underground. It's like we've only got so much time here. We don't. If this guy gets the win on me here, I may not have time to go back and get revenge. I may have to go below 500 for the season, which means I may not get a spot on Ultima Lucha. I may not get a title shot. It has a sense of urgency. The time's running out, or how are you going to type all these loose ends? This isn't like a continuous thing. It's like, well, if you don't get them now, you can get them in 6 months. It really doesn't matter. Now it matters because in 6 months they may be on hiatus. And and then you have the off season, and what are they doing to retweak? I mean, they're retraining, they're doing something different. I think it adds a little bit more drama. It makes everything feel more important, in my opinion. Why? This is from Ray Mastani. Why wasn't John Morrison successful in the WWE? He had the look and the talent. Oh, he was successful. He was. He was part of Eminem. He was a tag team champion. He was the ECW champion. Remember when he changed over from Johnny Nitro to John Morrison? I think he had some singles titles runs other than the ECW, but no, he was fine. He was successful by a lot of standards. If you want to go by championship reigns, promotion, yeah, he was promoted quite well. It's just his contract ran out. He just really wasn't happy with his position. I think he felt he should have been in a higher spot, and he just wanted to go kind of do his own thing. And he's been on the independents ever since, and obviously he's happy doing it. So I wouldn't say no. I would not say that John Morrison wasn't successful in the WWE. I think he was actually quite successful. I think he had probably a better career. Remember, he didn't start out like a traditional wrestler. A lot of people, forget this. Remember, he got the spot because he won Tough Enough. He was just regular John Hennigan. And was it John? Yeah, I think he won Tough Enough, and he got the contract, and then went into I think it was Ohio Valley, and they put him together with Joey Mercury and Melina, and there you go. The rest is history. And that's where he got his break. Should Taker have one more run as the American Badass? No, I'm more of a at this point. I'm more of a fan of the Dead Man. However, the original Tejano is also from Mexico-California border. I don't know how historically Tejano is used to turn to denote Texas-born Mexicans who trace their heritage back. Oh, okay. See, I learned something new today. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you. I was trying to figure out, like, why? How can it be called Tejano from California? Thank you. That just summed it up right there. Thank you. I do appreciate that, sir. Do you like the wrestling Lucha Underground? Yes, I do. And this is all about pre-colonized Texas. Okay, cool. Okay, Carlos, he's going to ask the tough questions here. Marry, fucking kill. Evilise, Katrina, and Sexy Star. Oh, dude, that's a tough one. Fuck. Marry, fuck, kill. I got Evilise, Katrina, and Sexy Star. Okay, I'd marry Sexy Star, I'd fuck Evilise, and I'd kill Katrina. There you go. What do you think about Reigns being busted on camera using the blood packet? Nah, it works. I mean, it sells the drama, and that doesn't violate their blading policy or intentional blading. So I'm cool with that. I don't think it's bad. What do you think about the match between Big Show and Owens? I didn't watch it. And honestly, I've got no regrets. Next week's episode is like a mini pay-per-view main event. King Cuerno versus Phoenix in a ladder match. Prince Puma versus Pentagon Jr. in a no disqualification match. And Cobra Moon versus a female wrestler in a singles match. See, that's what I'm more like. That's what I'm that's what I'm about. It's 3 matches. I think they give them enough time. I think they'll be fine. That's from TJ Amatis. All right. And he says, boom, boom. This episode was basically a building up, set up episode. So they had to process storylines to move forward, which will pay off. Oh, I'm not doubting you. I am not doubting you for 1 second. I agree. So I'm just saying my problem is I really wish they would have made either cut out probably cut out the shenanigans and made some of the matches longer. But yeah, I know that's like a minor gripe, but there you go. SmackDown is now Sunday Night Crazy Jerry, by the way. SmackDown is nothing more than Sunday Night Heat now. Come on now. Let's not name call now. I was going to say more like Shotgun Saturday Night, but I have a feeling that this is from Carlos. I have a feeling that Moth's sister isn't a cheerleader Melissa, but him dressed up as a woman in a Psycho or Texas Chainsaw Massacre type twist. That would be interesting. It would be too airy of the Santina angle that they did with Santino Marella a few years ago. Yeah, I could see that, but no, I think this isn't a spoiler. I think this is something that went around that they hired cheerleader Melissa specifically to play his sister. It's like supposed to be like an original character. I don't think she's going to come out as cheerleader Melissa. I know she was Raisha Saeed in TNA, because I know that's going to come up, but. Sorry, but yeah, but that would be an interesting twist. Let's see, they post Lucha Underground free on Daily Motion on Thursdays. Dude, how do you think I watch it? Lucha Underground has sold out a crowd of 3,000. Their biggest crowd ever for their show, which usually holds around 300 at South by Southwest in Texas for next month. Yeah, I'm well aware of that live event. So, but no, I didn't know that they had sold out yet. Cool. Is the WWE Network just a resource for WWE to make money revenue because they weren't making a lot of money? Well, yeah, of course it's a source of revenue. And $9.99 a month, you get all the content. You can go back and look at original shows. You can look back at old pay-per-views, look at current pay-per-views. Should Dean beat Brock? Yes, I'm straight up. I think I said this last week on. Actually, I said it last night on the NXT review. Yeah, I'm straight up Team Ambrose. Hope he beats the shit out of Brock. Excuse me, Freudian slip. Why don't you like the American Badass Taker? I just think it was completely counter to what his character was. I mean, it's just personal preference. Some people like chocolate, some people like vanilla, some people like strawberry. I prefer the Dead Man over the American Badass. I mean, yeah, it was a change of pace. It was just kind of a revamping of his character, but at this point in his career, let him stay the Dead Man. Just let him do it. Krista Joseph of Lucha Underground is bringing even more women's wrestlers for this season. In season 3, it says no women's title. No, I agree with that. I agree. That's a smart move, and here's why. bring in more talent, but in the Lucha Underground universe, the women are just as tough as the men. You've got I would not be surprised. I mean, you've already got Eva Lise holding, or she has held, excuse me, 1/3 of the trios titles. I could actually, and I would not put it past Lucha Underground to have a female champion or a female Get to the Gods champion. I would not put it past. I mean, hell, Sexy Star had one of the 7 medallions. She was in that 7-way match. Hell, she was in the Aztec Warfare. She was in Aztec Warfare to crown the first ever Lucha Underground champion. So, I agree with that. No, bringing in no women's title. I mean, I just like the way that the women are portrayed on there. They're portrayed as just being just as tough as the men, be able to hold their own and kick ass. So I'm with that, and bring them in, bring in more of the girls. Let's see what they can do. I think the brand split was successful in the Ruthless Aggression area, but what do you think? Yeah, it was okay when everybody stayed on their fucking side of the fence. When Raw guys stayed on Raw and SmackDown stayed on SmackDown. But when things started getting watered down and they started combining, and people started jumping ship left and right, popping up, then it just didn't mean anything. You could, and plus, they had, okay, which one's the better brand? Which one's the better? We'll let you know when we have the draft on Raw. We'll have all the major stuff happen on Raw. So you kind of defeated yourself. Who do you think Vince hired for the tape? Who do you think Vince hired for the Taker versus I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Races. Fan Rocks. Can you retype that? I have no idea what you just said. Have you ever heard of TCW? Dusty Rhodes ran it after the fall of WCW. You talk about Turnbuckle Championship? I never heard of that one. I've heard of the UWF. I've heard of Mid-Atlantic. I've heard of Mid-South. Heard of Smoky Mountain, various NWA territories, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, FIP, Championship Wrestling from Florida. But I'm TNA, obviously, even some modern Canadian promotions. But no, I've never heard of TCW. All right, guys, get your last little comments in, get your questions in, and I'll knock them out real quick. But I'm going to do some shameless self-promotion. I'm going to tell everybody to check us out at prowrestling.me. If you haven't already, shame on you, but you can go there. It's not a .com, it's prowrestling.me. It's a pro wrestling pub for professional wrestling fans. It's kind of like our Facebook page here. You can, chat with other fans, and we have blogs and forums which you can post in completely uncut, uncensored. So be sure to check that out. Also, check us out at KocoSports.com. KocoSports.net takes you to the same place. It's your home for combat sports, where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. I know it kind of gets lost because, we have to be like this fake terrorist group called the IWC. Yeah, because, just because we say, hey, we'd like to see some decent wrestling and, see some of the guys that we cheer for, get pushes. Oh, suddenly we're fucking greedy. Ugh. It's okay to do that, to be like that there. All right. All right. From Mitchell Martinson, what do you think about Wade Barrett and Lucha Underground? I'm hell at this point. I'm open to about anybody in Lucha Underground. So Wade Barrett, yeah, bring him in. Bring him in. I could see maybe Wade Barrett even maybe trying his hand at New Japan. Maybe. Who do you think Vince will F Shane? Who do you think Vince will hire to F Shane over at Mania? I don't think so. I think we're gonna have a clean match. Who's got the? Whoa, Ray! I don't think I can read that here. Yeah, Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling. Okay, I guess I've heard of it, but no, I never watched anything on it. J. Ray, I never heard. I guess I heard the name Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling, but I never actually saw anything come out of there. Rennie Sums, Lucha Underground seems to be on Triple H's radars of late. Yeah, they tried to hire. I know they tried to hire Angelico. I know they tried to hire him away, and he wouldn't go. I don't know who's on the radar. I know that Ricochet, Prince Puma. I know that he's been on the radar. I don't know if he'll ever go. I mean, he's obviously had a successful career. Hell, he's won half of the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions. Ray, dude, don't put me on the spot like that. I can't read. If you'll rephrase your question, Ray, I'll read it. But we can't be vulgar. I can't, dude. I don't want to be a douchebag. Okay, there's a difference between being okay. don't be PG. No, I just don't want to be an asshole. You know, I get way too much of that from Koco, so I don't want to be an asshole. But as far as like if I'm WWE and I want to raid Lucha Underground, who do I get? I know it's sexy. I think they don't want Sexy Star. I think they wanted her to drop the mask, and I think they said, "Oh, she's not good looking enough without the mask," so they didn't want her. Whew. You know, you'd think for a company that's wanting more and more and more Hispanic stars that they would just go after AAA, CMLL, but hardcore, but they're not really, and I don't know why. I was thinking like Pentagon Jr., but I think he's getting on up there. I think Phoenix might be a smart pick. I think, I know they've gotten La Sombra recently from Mexico. Drago. They probably wouldn't want Mil Mortez. I'm trying to think of Hispanic stars that they might actually want. They wouldn't get Chop. I don't think they get anybody in the crew either. I know they sure as hell wouldn't get Blue Demon Jr. Tejano maybe. I could see Tejano and Alberto Del Rio working a program there in WWE. Bring that feud in. So that's all I can think of off the top of my head. Let's see, Crazy JR. I went to a show. He's talking about Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling and saw Dustin Rhodes versus a fake Goldust, but it was a good show. Isn't Shane in real life next to Lana to take over? I think that's Triple H and Stephanie. Brian Cage, WWE would love him. Yeah, I think they would. They've already got somebody, and this is, WWE logic. They've already got somebody that looks like him. They've already got Ryback. So I don't know if they would really want to scoop him up. Lucha Underground has to find funding for season 4. If not, season 3, maybe it's last reported by Dave Meltzer. Well, that's going to be a while. They're going to do seasons 2, season 3 back to back, and that's going to take us most of a year. And I think certainly within that time they're going to start raising funds for the next season. So I think it's just don't hit the panic button yet. Let's see, why is it? I think Ray. Why isn't it's Shayna's son? Well, I don't know. To be honest, I just think it comes down to who wants to run it. I know that Triple H and Stephanie do. Remember, Shane sold his stock and he started operating that company out of China. I think he's happy doing that. He's coming back. And to me, I'm just to me it would make more sense. And I think he's going to own a quarter of the company anyway. So trust me, he's not going to be starving. He's not going to be rolling pennies for gas. So. And then Dave never misses out on Louis Noche. Yeah, correct, Rennie. He doesn't. He doesn't miss out on reviewing Lucha Underground. He's under the weather. He asked me to do it, so I'm just filling in. Shane or Triple H, in your opinion, to take over? Triple H, because if NXT's any indication of what Triple H can do, yeah, put him in charge right now. Now, there's supposedly, the backstage scuttlebutt in the WWE is that there really is maybe some changes coming to WWE after Mania. Interested to see what they do, because hopefully it's in response to the sinking ratings. And first solution would be drop it back from 3 hours to 2, but they're not going to do that because they're, that's way too much money. They're going to be dropping with commercials and all kinds of merchandise sales. No, I don't think they're going to drop back to 2 hours unless USA Network makes them. And I think USA Network wants to keep it at 3 because it's less content that they have to fill. All right, so you know what? That's going to do it for me. I want to thank everybody for joining us here. I want to remind everybody to check us out. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Koco and LK hopefully are going to be out from under the weather sooner rather than later. And they're going to be cranking out some reviews. We got the Ring of Honor pay-per-view coming up this weekend. I'm hoping to check out, maybe crank out a review. I know LK probably will before I do. Maybe Dave will. Maybe Dave can join them. Of course, we'll start over the week with Monday Night Raw. Then we will do NXT. Again, hopefully we can get somebody to review TNA. Again, Ring of Honor, the regular television show. Of course, Lucha Underground. So be sure to check us out. And this is Boom Boom, and for my partners LK and Dave Koco, I am over.